And then I think you go on to say, faithfulness boils down to neither democratically elected president nor a dictator. So faithfulness doesn't care if you.
So what I'm saying there is just because someone is democratically elected and someone is a dictator doesn't mean this one is more faithful than the other one. You understand? So faithfulness doesn't say you will find me on the side of the democratically elected president. You understand? Because we've had people who are democratically elected. There's countries where they still have dictators, and it's a mess everywhere. Everywhere it's a mess. You understand?
Wow, man. Let's continue then. Wow, this piece is. Faithfulness chooses neither the side of the illegal foreigner nor the xenophobic. Instead, it declares that both are strangers to this world, waiting in generational queue towards the only border that truly matters. So I think this is now where you want to tell us there's actually a place where faithfulness is found, or there's a source of faithfulness.
Yeah, so when I talk about the only border that truly matters, I'm basically talking about the line between this life and the next life. Okay. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you could visualize it as a border from one world to another world. Okay. Right? We're fighting now over borders between Zimbabwe and South Africa, who belongs on which side of which border. But at the end of the day, none of us is going to be here forever. Right? There is a border that actually we need to be more concerned about. And that's the border between this life and the next life.
Wow. So that's where we should actually keep our eyes on.
Yeah, sure, but not to say that now we shouldn't care about what's going on in this world.
Yeah.
We can try and add positivity and try and be the solution to the issues of this world, but keeping in mind that actually there's a bigger issue to worry about than what goes on in this world. Because we're only here for like a season. Right.
Alright, let me take a bit of a tangent here. Because you're saying we should be mindful of where we're going. So, does that mean then this is just an audition field, or are we? Basically, the question is: are we? Do we owe anything to anyone here? Like, do we owe anything to? Do we owe people our goodness? Do we owe the world our goodness? Or can that be just for us, and then we only, keeping our eyes on the finish line? Just be good enough to get to the finish line.
I mean, speaking from just even from a humanistic perspective, I mean, would you not want to, when you have left this world, would you not want to be remembered as someone who has made an impact, as someone who has been a force for good, right? Would you not want to leave a mark? You understand? Speaking from a humanistic perspective, because if we speak now from a religious perspective, there's different beliefs. I believe we owe, we are accountable to the Creator. And I believe there is a Creator who has placed us in this world, and He has certain standards by which He expects us to live. And so I think we are accountable for that, and I think we will be answerable for that. But I'm not only speaking to people who believe that. Right. So when I write my pieces, I am a Christian, I write from a Christian perspective, but I realize that I'm not only speaking to Christians, I'm speaking to people who might not hold the views that I hold.
Views that you do.
So even if you don't hold the view that I hold about, eternal things and spiritual things, but just as a human being, would you not want to leave a legacy?
I think that's something we all strive to. I think
you understand. So whether you feel you owe it to God or not, I think you owe it to yourself.
To yourself, you want to leave something. Okay, that's beautiful. Thanks for answering that. I know it's not a part of this. And then now it goes on to the labels, that we have. You're going to say that, but let us be warned and beware. Faithfulness is not impressed with the external labels that we wear. So this is both clothing labels and what we've been called.
Yeah. So they are actually. That is like how would I describe it? Sort of like setting the audience up for a sucker punch, right? So when I talk about external labels, I mentioned like clothing labels. That's not where I'm at.
That's not where you're going. Yeah.
That's not where I'm going. So, but I'm trying to get people to feel like comfortable to say, okay, no, that's not me. And then Calvinist or Arminian, because in the Christian circles, there's a lot of camps. There's a lot of different I believe this, I believe that. In our church we do this, in our church we don't do that. And so throughout the history of the church, there's been this friction between those who identify as Arminian and those who identify as Calvinist. So I'm just trying to show that at the end of the day, a label is only as good as the clothes that you wear. If it doesn't affect what's going on in your heart. So faithfulness is not about what you write on your profile, that I'm a Calvinist, I'm a whatever. But how are you as a person on the inside?
Oh, so it's all about your heart.
Exactly.
Oh, it's beautiful. Faithfulness is neither feminist nor sexist.
Yeah.
So it does not judge the pregnant teenager more harshly than her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But here, I think society in itself, just because the woman is carrying the baby and we don't really know who the father is, I think that's why, society will judge the woman more harshly. So I'm saying there's a contrast now between what we've grown to believe in the world with faithfulness.
So then I'm just trying to show that, again, like in the religious or the Christian world, where you have different camps. So also in other parts of society, there's different camps. There's been a huge rise in feminism over the recent years. Whether you believe that is right or wrong, that's not the point of the poem. The point of the poem is that whether you're feminist or not, you are still not perfectly faithful. You still fall short. You still fail. You understand? And then also just to show the contrast in the ways we judge women compared with the ways we judge men. So like you say, if a teenager falls pregnant, all the shame is on her, while the father of the child, if he doesn't tell you that he impregnated someone, you'll never know. He walks around normally. There's no evidence on him that he impregnated someone. So I'm just trying to show that on both sides there's no one who is less guilty than the other one.
Let me go on to I think the last stanza now. But oh, how faithful is the one who has promised us a better land to climb, a sitting foundation whose designer and builder is God. So this is what we're looking forward to now. That's what we're saying we're looking forward to.
Again, that's also a reference to the whole expropriation of land without compensation. So the land grabs. Sure. I mean, we can debate about whether or not we should be grabbing land that was stolen from us. I feel like we should be. I think there should be expropriation of land without compensation, and I think there should be a redistribution of land. But I think this stuff is reserved for people with greater minds and strategical minds than me to decide how that should be done. But having done all of that in this life, there's again, it's the belief that we are only here for a season. So sure, grab your land, whatever, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be here forever, right? So there is a better land that you should be now grabbing as well. Sure, grab whatever you can here, but don't be so focused on what you can grab here that you don't prepare yourself for the next life.
That can happen as soon as you get enough world riches. You don't think that this is something like you feel invincible. Oh, that's beautiful. And then we continue to say, city, where our spirit will be so high, there'll be no business for nyaope dealers. I like this. Play on words.
I mean, I think we all crave satisfaction. We all crave happiness, and I believe that whatever leads people to being, involved in drugs and whatever, at the core of that, we just want to be happy. We just want to be happy. So I think in the next life or in heaven, we'll be so happy that there'll be no need to look to other substances for that happiness. You understand?
We'll all find it in one place. It's all to be satisfactory for all of us. That's what I say.
Of course,
Where our sisters will be just as grand as our mothers, because no man will ever abuse or bruise them. So I think I now go now to like the fact that we have femicides now. We've seen femicides
Exactly,
and
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so the word grand there is in two senses.
Yeah.
Grand as in fine. So our sisters will be fine. They'll be okay. They'll be grand.
Yeah.
As our mothers' mothers. Our mothers' mothers are our grandmothers. You understand? So it's a play on words there.
It's poetic, bro.
But yeah, so the point there is there will be no gender-based violence. Right.
Or violence against others. Then you continue. Where okay, this is actually my favorite line. Every time you say this line, I laugh. Where immunodeficiency will be an oxymoron like medical aid for glorified bodies.
Yeah.
So we have perfect health there. That's
perfect bodies, perfect health, perfect everything. There will be no AIDS. I think as a lot of the times as Christians we talk about the blessings of the Christian life, but in such a way that it is like up there in the clouds. Like, we are blessed in Christ, whatever. But for someone who's going through stuff in this world now, what does it mean for them?
You need the hope.
You understand? So how do you connect that with what's going on right now?
When you're in your sick bed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do with a lot of my pieces. Like, how do you make your theology walk the streets? You understand?
Yeah.
Instead of living up there in the clouds, disconnected from reality. So what does it mean that we'll have perfect bodies in heaven? It means that there will be no AIDS. There's AIDS now, right? AIDS. And we all know about AIDS. We all are affected by it. We might not all be infected, but everybody knows somebody who's, infected. Everybody knows somebody who has died. Everybody knows somebody who's struggling. So if I come and tell you that come to Christ and, He will bless you, in what way? In what way?
Are you saying he's going to take out my illness now? Are you saying
it might not be now, but there is, again, in the now, sure, we want to have as good a life as we can, but at the end of the day, there is another life coming that we should be prepared for. Yeah,
that's beautiful. I think then now we go to the answer to the question. Faithfulness is faithful is the one who has promised us the better land to grab.
Yeah.
A city with foundations whose designer and builder is God.
Yeah.
Are you saying like, especially with faithfulness, because of all these examples that you've made, and then the fact that we've seen how flawed humanity is, are you saying because of our flawed nature, because of our sinful nature, we'll always like fail while we're here? Is that basically the message you used to say?
Yeah.
So that's why we then should look towards God for where we fail.
Yeah.
Wow, bro,
it's a city with foundations, so it's a city that cannot be shaken, cannot be moved. You understand? Yeah. It's a sure thing. It's a sure thing. Everything we have here, it might last, might not last. Tomorrow is not promised, right? But this is the one thing that is sure, that will not disappoint you. You understand?
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for this piece, bro. It's wonderful. I think it portrays your message well. The one question I do have though, when you were writing this piece, I'm sure there was like something in you, like that message you wanted to release.
Yeah.
So now, upon reading the piece, upon performing the piece, do you feel like the piece is doing exactly what was in your heart? That whatever you wanted to put on paper, do you feel like it is on paper? For this piece specifically, not for like all your other pieces.
Yeah. I have a line in another poem where I say, my poems never land as gloriously on paper as I've imagined them in my mind.
Yeah.
So the process of writing for me is, I'll start with an idea, and then I have it all in my mind. Okay, this is how this piece is going to go. But by the time I start writing, then there's other influences, there's other inspirations that come into play that just sort of take over.
So it never just comes out the way
I do use the ideas that I had, but then somehow I end up expanding on that, or sometimes I even take a different direction to what I thought I was going to write. So I think with every piece, it's different. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
But then do you like the outputs? Like
or
something that you need to rewrite.
No. I like the piece. No, I like this piece. I'm happy with it. But I think at the end of the day, it's the audience who must say, this is a great piece or whatever.
I'm glad you say that, because I don't think an artist's job is for the artist.
No. We're never fully satisfied with our work. We try our best and
then
put it out there, we
design.
move on to the next thing.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Do you feel like there's anything I missed in the piece specifically that you want to go back into and then expand on, or is that?
No, I think
we've
like
cut
we
it?
pretty much went line by line, yeah.
Oh, that's
Pretty much
dope.
went line by line, so.
It's cool. Hi guys, yeah, that was Faithfulness by Mandla. Bro, for people who want to follow more of your pieces, and especially those ones who want to get the feelings that you're talking about, where do they get you on these social media?
Yeah, so social media is one of my weaknesses. So yeah, we do have Redeeming Syllables has a YouTube channel that is not really maintained, but we're trying to change that this year. So
2020, so they should
go Redeeming Syllables on YouTube. You'll see some old stuff there, but hopefully as the year goes, we'll put in some new stuff. Personally, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, but that's not for my craft. That's just for my personal space.
So you don't want to share that personal space? Alright.
I forgot my handles now.
Oh,
so that's the problem.
No, that's fine. You guys go to Redeeming Syllables, you'll find everything. Or on YouTube, you'll find everything. Or just search Redeeming Syllables.
Yeah.
Redeeming Syllables. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for tuning in and
thanks for having
me welcome you home.
Yeah. No, it's dope, man. I love it. So am I the first guest?
On this new home, yes. First
nice,
guest.
Nice.
Thank you. You're special, bro.
Cool.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Go back to the page, like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to all the channels, YouTube and podcast channels. Remember, love word and love people. Peace.
Ujabulile umfundisi ujabulile imali singenile nomnikelo uze utholile umfundisi